Hi there, Miss Fernandi again, reading Chapter 2, this time of The Losers Club by Andrew Clements. Gulp. The chair in front of Miss Vance's desk was identical to the hot seat out in the hallway, hard red plastic with black metal legs. Alec remembered how big the chair had seemed back in first grade and how scared he had been on those early visits. Today, the chair was the perfect fit, and he felt right at home. Miss Vance looked the same, brownish gray hair almost to her shoulders, a jacket over a blouse. Sometimes it was a sweater over a blouse. And she always wore a necklace of small pearls. She didn't have what Alec would call a pretty face, but she wasn't anywhere near ugly either. She was doing that thing where she rested her elbows on her desk and pressed the palms of her hands together. He thought it made her look like she was praying. Maybe she was. Her glasses didn't have rims and the lenses were sort of thick, so her brown eyes seemed larger than life. When she looked at him the way she was looking right then, Alec felt like a bug under a magnifying glass. He knew better than to smile, and he knew better than to talk first, so he waited. The wait was only 5 or 10 seconds, but it felt much longer. Then Mrs. Vance pulled her hands apart and folded them in front of her on the desk. She spoke slowly and softly, lips barely moving, her eyes narrowed. Alec, what are we going to do? And as she said the word do, her dark eyebrows shot upward. Alec sat perfectly still. Mrs. Vance had yelled at him before. She had shaken a finger in his face, and once she had slammed both hands down on her desk hard. But this was new. She opened a file folder on her desk. I reviewed your academic results and test scores from last year. They weren't great, but they weren't as bad as I thought they might be. She paused and locked her large eyes onto his. But in terms of your attitude reports, your study skills reports, and your class participation marks, 5th grade was a disaster. She paused and then asked, do you know how many times you were sent to my office last year for reading instead of listening and participating in class? Alec was about to guess 11, but then decided he'd better keep his mouth shut. He shook his head. Miss Vance leaned forward. 14 times. Another long pause. Your teachers and I know how bright you are, Alec. All of us admire how much you love to read. I don't think I have ever known anyone who enjoys books more than you do. But when reading gets in the way of your other schoolwork every single day, that is a problem, and it's gotten worse every year. Starting today, you have to make some definite changes, and you already know what they are. And if you choose not to make your classroom behavior, change your classroom behavior, then I will require that you attend a special study skills program. This program begins 1 week after school lets out in June. And the class meets for 3 hours each morning. The program lasts for 6 weeks, and unless your attitude and your actions change, that is how you will be spending most of your summer, of next summer. Do you understand? Alec gulped, his mind spinning. A whole summer with no trip to New Hampshire, no time at his grandparents' cabin, no swimming in the lake, and no water skiing? The principal repeated her question. Do you understand? Yes. Good. I have told all your teachers to watch you closely, and if they see you reading in class or not paying attention, they are to send you directly to me. I'm also sending a registered letter to your parents explaining how serious this has become. And after we see your behavior report and your grades for the first term, we'll take any further steps that are needed. She filled out a yellow hall pass, ripped it from the pad, and slipped it across the desk. Now, get to your second period class, and I don't want to see you here again all year long. Alex stood up, took the pass, and left her office without a word.